New Orleans 4-game winning streak, and they take down the Pels here at Intuit Dome. Their final matchup against New Orleans here at Intuit. The Clippers, a 137-117 victory led by Kawhi Leonard with 23, Miller with 19, 16 from Lopez, 17 from Derrick Jones Jr., and 9 off the bench from Mathurin Batum. As Yannik Conan Niederhauser, I believe, is going to join us on the headset. Justine Jones grabbing Yannik, Clippers PR. Shout out to Justine. The rookie walks over 7 points today, 6 rebounds for Yannik. As he steps underneath the rope. Justine holding the headset. Here we go. Yannick got it in hand. Yannick, you got us? Can you hear us? Maybe?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Appreciate you. Thanks for hopping on. Congratulations on the victory. 20 minutes for you today, Yannick. You've been a staple of the rotation since the moves were made. How do you think your game has grown in these last month plus of basketball? You've played 20-plus minutes a game.
Yes, sir, man. We was out here fighting today, man. Everybody was playing hard. For me, the more minutes I get, the more experience I get. Each minute I get, I can learn. I can gain experience. And yeah, I mean, I feel like I get smarter on the game. Keep improving, keep learning, especially last month. That's where I played the most since I'm in the NBA, so I really learned a lot. And I'm just looking forward to learn more and get better.
Talk to me about this young group that you guys have. Obviously, it's a tight-knit group, but Jordan Miller, 19 today, 9 from Sanders. When the young guys are getting it going, how awesome is that on the sideline?
Yeah, man, we hungry, man. All of us are hungry. We want to play, we want to compete, we want to win. And, yeah, we got a bunch of dogs, so every time we out there, we just play hard. And, as I said, we got a bunch of dogs. So, yeah, it's fun playing with these guys.
All right, thank you so much, Yannick.
Yes,
Go enjoy
sir.
this one with your teammates.
I appreciate y'all.
Clippers get a win over the Pelicans, 137-117. Don't go anywhere. My favorite show of all time is coming up next. Clippers Talk with Adam Oslin. Clippers get a win over New Orleans on our Clippers Audio Network.
There you go, Clipper Nation. 137-117. Got a little bit dicey at one point when it was 1 point between them in the third quarter. But the Clippers hot shooting from the outside, 17 of 36. This is exactly why I told you the other night, this Clippers offense, when you get Kawhi Leonard back, well, it creates a lot of opportunities for everybody else when he's being double teamed the way he was tonight. That's how you get the defense in rotation. People that were sweating that loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves like they weren't without Kawhi Leonard and still without Darius Garland. It was understandable. But I'm glad to see this response from this Clippers team tonight with him, even though it could have been over in the first half. They gave up that 9-0 run to end the second quarter. A little bit frustrating there. Hopefully, Chris Dunn, who looked like he got hit on the right temple going for a rebound, is okay. He was back on the bench. And John Collins, who maybe banged up that right shoulder that was taped. Looked like it also could have been in his wrist. Tough to say for sure. But hopefully both of them are okay because it's a 5-7, 18 games in 31 days, front end of a back-to-back. Clippers up at Chase Center tomorrow against the Golden State Warriors. And yes, it looks like Darius Garland is making his debut. Carlo's going to talk with him at the wall, doing a special Darius Garland meet and greet over there. Daniel, what we got second half highlights? All right, let's do it. Let's do it here. Because Carlo's got to talk with Garland. You hope that's a stinger. That's what I was saying during the broadcast. Hopefully it's just that, but Clippers by 20 over the Pelicans here at Intuit Dome as they win 137 to 117. Welcome into your post-game show. I'm Adam Osland. Coming up, your final box score, and we'll get to your phone calls on Clippers Talk. 866-987-2570 is the phone number. Clippers now just 3 games under 500. This is game 1. They're 1-0 in March so far. The Clippers version of March Madness. 18 games in 31 days. They'll be up at Chase Center tomorrow night taking on the Golden State Warriors. Let's get to some second half highlights. Remember, Clippers led by as many as 18 in that second quarter, but a 9-0 run by the Pelicans in the last minute and a half of the first half would have them up by just 6 at 76-70. In the third quarter, though, as the Clippers were 6 of 15 from 3 in the first half, well, they matched that in the third quarter alone with 6 threes. Brooke Lopez, not just what he was doing from the outside from 3 in that third quarter, but the hit-ahead passes to DJ, to John Collins, those long outlet passes, getting them some easy buckets. Huge for this Clippers team. And after it was just a 1-point game in the third quarter, Clippers up by 1. They eventually were leading 107-94 by 13 heading into the fourth quarter, where the Clippers would extend that lead and Benedict Mathurin would finally get a few buckets to fall for him. Benedict Mathurin with 5 points to help close out the Pelicans. I mean, Kobe Sanders came in and dropped 3 threes out of nowhere. Clippers by 20, 137 to 117. Your final score. They led by as many as 26. They go on to finish off the Pelicans here at Intuit Dome on the front end of a back-to-back. Clippers tomorrow night up at Chase Center, taking on a depleted Golden State Warriors team. Not going to be an easy one, though. They'll have the rest advantage and the extra motivation after they lost on Saturday to the Lakers. More on that coming up. Final box scores next. I'm Adam Osland, and this is your Clippers postgame show right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Jake, could we turn down the return from AM 570 a little bit? It got quiet in here, you know. A little too quiet. Good to see you. What's up? See you on Wednesday. Appreciate you, man. Elite. Yeah, Dunn's value is much more than the box score. He's a tone setter defensively for this team. So decisions to be made. I think he'll initially be out there with Darius Garland tomorrow. But as time goes on, it could be DJ in the starting lineup. It could be Benedict Mathurin in the starting lineup. It could be both of them. I thought Jordan Miller was outstanding. Unsung hero in this game. Jordan Miller ended with 19 points, but as Carlo mentioned, 8 assists. That little underhand assist to Isaiah Jackson to get him that dunk. Beautiful pass at the end of this ball game. Jordan Miller had some great feeds. Very impressive that it wasn't just about his scoring, but when the defense started giving him more attention his way, he ended up finding his teammates for some easy looks. Darius Garland going to the wall right now, going to meet up with Carlo Jimenez for an interview. Turn the... Well, you guys can see it. The wall and the swell getting some special privileges here. Darius Garland premiering tomorrow is the word against the Golden State Warriors up at Chase Center. Exciting times, Clipper Nation. You get to unwrap a new present. 866-987-2570, 866-987-2570 is the phone number if you guys want to get on early. Clippers close out the Pelicans in style, winning 137-117. It was much closer in that midway through the third quarter, just a 1-point lead after they led by 18 in the first half. Things got a little bit dicey. Jeremiah Fears had 28 for the Pelicans, leading them and trying to mount a big comeback, but the Clippers stepped on the gas, and this game was no longer in doubt at about the 5-minute mark of the fourth quarter. Clippers improved to 28-31 and are 1-0 now in March with 17 games left to go. I'm Adam Osland. This is your Clippers post-game show. Coming up in just a little bit, we'll get to AM 570, and we'll get to your Clippers talk, 866-987-2570. Clippers ended up shooting 54% from the field, 17 of 36 from the outside. If you're wondering why there were less threes, why they were making less threes as well, they were able to figure things out with Kawhi Leonard back. Kawhi, 8 of 18, even though he was just 1 of 7 from 3. The gravity of Kawhi, who's now at, I believe, 37 straight games of 20 or more. 23 points in this one. You can hear Carlo Jimenez and Darius Garland in the background, by the way, who's getting introduced to the wall and the swell here post-game before he premieres tomorrow up at Chase Center against the Golden State Warriors. But Kawhi back just opens up all the possibilities offensively for this Clippers team because the attention that is drawn his way. And the Clippers ended up shooting 47% from 3 on decent volume, 17 of 36. Helping him out, it was John Collins knocking down 1. Brook Lopez, 4 of 6, and 3 of his three-pointers in the third quarter. Really crucial when the Clippers reestablished their lead to get up by 13 heading into the fourth. Derrick Jones Jr., 3 of 4 from distance. Chris Dunn hit his first 3 maybe in a week and a half here. Bennedict Mathurin did struggle from the field, 0 of 3, 4 of 13 from the field. But Nico Batum, some of you guys were telling me he was washed because he was struggling from the outside as of late. Nico, 3 of 5 from the outside. Kobe Sanders comes in late and knocks down 3 3-pointers. And Jordan Miller with 1 of 1 from 3, making up the 17 of 36 the Clippers were at from distance. So Kawhi with the 23 points to lead them, but John Collins, 15 and 7, and hopefully he's okay. Banged that right shoulder, did hop up afterwards after he had a really nice feed underneath the basket, but did head to the locker room. So we'll be monitoring that post game. Brook Lopez, outstanding ball game, 16 and 7, and really was in control in that third quarter. A couple of hit-ahead passes, one leading to a clear path foul that John Collins was the recipient of. Another one to Derrick Jones Jr., streaking down the lane, getting the easy bucket that way. I love the assists, just 3 of them, but crucial one from Brook Lopez. Derrick Jones Jr. was 17, another strong offensive performance from DJ. He has just been getting better and better since he's returned from that knee issue. Chris Dunn ended up with 4 assists to 1 turnover, 9 points, 4 of 5 shooting, 1 of 2 from 3. Off the bench, Jordan Miller was special tonight with his 19 points, but also 8 assists out there, doing the little things, 3 steals too. His defense is what keeps him out there on the floor. That's what really changes things for his game. Jordan Miller, he's kind of gotten out of that sophomore slump maybe he was in over the last couple of weeks here. Relocated his game, getting left, getting his easy buckets, but once the defense noticed that, he was able to pass and make the right feeds as they were giving him a little bit more attention out there. Clippers win 137-117 over the Pelicans. It's never easy against them. It looked like they were going to blow them out in the first half. They led by as many as 18. It was down to 6. 24 minutes in, it was down to 1 into the third quarter, and then the Clippers were able to turn things up a notch, win by 20. We'll take a quick time out here. I'm Adam Osland live from Intuit Dome. Clippers take down the Pelicans. They will be up in San Francisco tomorrow night against the Golden State Warriors. More on that next here on your Clippers postgame show on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Oh, they're not even making Carlo work here now. He just took the microphone. Darius Garland is just, he's doing a podcast or something. Chuck the Condors involved. They're getting the crowd involved. here's the scene, guys. If you're watching on the YouTube side, and that's the only way you'd be hearing me right now, anyways.
What we going till? What time?
Daniel,
Did you say something? I didn't hear you.
Daniel, what time we going till? Yeah, he stepped away.
Yeah.
Daniel, what time we going till? I would guess 9:30. What time we go until Daniel? He might be taking some calls. Chris Dunn took that shot to the head going up for a rebound on the right temple. Now, he did go to the locker room and went back to the bench. Obviously, they didn't need him out there late. And then John Collins, he ran into Derek Queen with his right shoulder, which already had some tape on it. Yeah, 9:30. Really, the only concern in this ball game coming out of it is we need those guys healthy for tomorrow and for this stretch of games in March. And tomorrow's a big one because we talked about it during the game, but the Golden State Warriors are where the Clippers kind of want to be. They're both going to be trying to get in that 7 spot to have home court in the play-in matchup. I think the 6 seed is just going to be too difficult to chase down. I've been telling you guys that for a week. Unfortunately, when you start 6-21, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's near impossible. He would need a lot. The Clippers would need a lot of help to get that 6 seed. And I told you the Lakers were going to win the next 3. Well, they won the next 2 now since I said that. They got another game now coming up against the Pelicans themselves. So 7 seed, getting the 7-8, win that 7 spot, or win that home playoff game. Clippers win tonight, 137-117 over the Pelicans here at Intuit Dome. I'm Adam Moslin. Welcome back in. Coming up, we got Clippers talk for you on the AM 570 side, 866-987-2570, 866-987-2570. Happy birthday to Chuck once again. As we are live from Intuit Dome, as Darius Garland, your newest Clipper, is being introduced to the wall and the swell here. Chatting with them, getting ready for his debut tomorrow against the Golden State Warriors. Big time contest when it comes to standings watch in the play-in territory. And the Golden State Warriors currently are just ahead of the Clippers. They're in the 8th spot at 31-29. The Clippers are at 28-31. So 2.5 games back of them. But both, I think, are trying to chase down the Phoenix Suns here, who are 34-26, because they're in the 7th spot. And if you get the 7th spot, you get a home play-in game in the 7-8 matchup. You win that, you're the 7th seed. So tomorrow's game is going to be critical for the Clippers. They all are in March, but given the standings here, this is going to be a big one. Clippers, Golden State Warriors from Chase Center tomorrow night. Tip-off at 7, your pregame show at 6. Don't go anywhere. If you're listening on AM 570 LA Sports or on the YouTube side, we got Clippers Talk next. I see you guys going hard at the Lakers. Things we don't speak of. I shouldn't have brought them up. I'm sorry. But I did predict they were going to win the next 3 games, and so far they're 2-0. And that chance of getting the 6th spot kind of comes down to them falling apart, and I don't think they're going to fall apart to the point where the Clippers have a chance to chase them down. I'm sorry. I try to be realistic here. I wouldn't say Benedict Mathurin plays just like SGA. He isn't the passer of SGA. He isn't the defender of SGA. Because he has a Euro step and has a scoring appetite doesn't mean he's SGA. The comparisons, I remember when people were saying that about Jordan Miller and then Kobe Sanders. And anybody with a slow deceleration Euro step towards the basket apparently can be SGA. And that's not the case. There's only one. And I'm sorry he's in OKC. I shouldn't have brought that up either. Now that and the Lakers, the hate's coming. Benedict really struggled tonight, 4 of 13 again, just 9 points. But I like the fact that late he got his offense going really on the defensive end, where he made a great play as Derek Queen was trying to give Yannik Conan Niederhauser the business. And Derek Queen's a tough rookie, and there's a reason they traded up to get him. He ended up with 19 points. and he had already scored on Yannik multiple times in the post. And Benedict was waiting for them to go back inside. He sagged off his defender and ripped it away from Derek Queen on the left block going up against Yannik. Went the other way and got fouled. I liked seeing him do some of the little stuff. He had a putback in the fourth quarter, too. Sometimes to unlock your offense, you got to start scrapping and doing the little things out there. And I thought Benedict Mathurin did a really good job of that when he's been noticeably frustrated out there. And I get it, you're missing shots, but really it's been since he missed that possible game winner against Orlando. That's when the struggles have started. And he said he couldn't stop thinking about it post-game. And you wonder how much that's still weighing on him now. So Mathurin kind of needs a breakout game offensively. Hopefully it comes tomorrow. Clippers take down the Pelicans finally, 137-117. It was closer than that, but they opened things up and would win by 20 here at Intuit Dome. I'm Adam Moslin. Welcome into Clippers Talk. 866-987-2570. 866-987-2570 is the phone number, as we had the return of Kawhi Leonard and John Collins in this game, waiting for an update as John Collins got hurt. Looked like he banged the right shoulder against Derek Queen in the fourth quarter, went back to the locker room, but finished with 15 points and had their first 6 points, I want to say, or he had 3 dunks very quickly in the first quarter, John Collins, tonight. Got them going offensively, and the Clippers were rolling quickly in this ball game. In fact, he had 3 dunks in the first 4 minutes. Doubles are coming to Kawhi Leonard with him back. It makes the offense so much easier for everyone else. It wasn't just the fact that, obviously level of competition, Minnesota's a much better ball club than the New Orleans Pelicans, especially defensively. But it's also Kawhi was drawing double teams left and right. When those screens were being set, they would stay at the level, up to touch, double Kawhi, try to blitz him, get the basketball out of his hands. And what did I tell you the other night? They didn't have anybody to get the defense in rotation. Tonight they did with Kawhi Leonard. And it opened up a ton of good looks for the Clippers from distance, where they were 17 of 36 from 3. So the 3-point shots came back with the level of attempts, and then the makes hitting 47% from the outside. But John Collins was a recipient of some of those doubles going to Kawhi early on. He also just made the most of his athleticism out there with a couple of dunks that were just huge to start the game. The Pelicans also started 0 of 5 from the field, and the Clippers actually had 12 fast break points in the opening quarter, second most they had in a quarter this season. And they scored the most points in an opening quarter in the first quarter since December 16th of 2024, when they had 44 points in a game against the Utah Jazz in the first quarter. Tonight, the Clippers had 43 points after the first quarter. We're up 43-32. And it looked like it might get out of hand quickly when they led by 18. And the Clippers were really exerting themselves offensively. But you could see it out there. Their focus started to wane the more things came easy to them offensively. Their defense wasn't as tight on the other end, and the Pelicans actually were knocking down some 3-pointers to start this game too. They were 5 of 11 in the first quarter. They were 8 of 17 to start the game in the first half. And the Clippers' closeouts were pretty poor. They were late to 3-point shooters in the first 24 minutes of this one. And Jeremiah Fears had 17 points in the first half. And DeJounte Murray, who's back, well, he only had 1 3, had 13 points in the first half. Sadiq Bey, who had 42 a couple of games ago, had 11. Trey Murphy, who was back for them, had 11. And the Clippers, while being up 18 in the second quarter, the Pelicans battled back, and it was just a 6-point game. After the second period, it was 76-70 Clippers. They let them up off the mat. It looked like they could have ran away with this game quickly. Didn't go that way. In fact, because of those late closeouts and because of the 3-point shooting from the Pelicans really keeping them close or within arm's reach of the Clippers, at one point, it was down to 1 point in the third quarter. After 2 teams that were shooting the lights out in the first half where the Clippers really, I felt like, were unserious at times on the defensive end because it was just too easy for them to score. Well, the Pelicans closed that second quarter with a 9-0 run in the last minute and 28 seconds to get them within 6 points. And then Murphy comes out to start the third quarter and hits a three right away. Now it's a 12-0 run by the Pelicans. It's a 3-point game. Brook Lopez, though, was huge for the Clippers. He knocks down a three to put them back up by 6. But the defense on the interior now not as good. Herb Jones gets a layup. Brook misses a three. Murphy with a tough layup. It's a 2-point game. Going right, really athletic play. It's a 16-3 Pelicans run going back to the end of the second quarter into the start of the third. Herb Jones, though, picked up his 4th foul at the 9:48 mark. He's their best defender. That didn't help them. Then Lopez found John Collins cutting to the basket. He had 3 great assists in that third quarter to make it 81-77. Murphy misses a 3. Kawhi fouled, goes to the free throw line. And then you had a possible clear path. And they ended up reviewing it, and it was on a long outlet, I believe. It was to John Collins from Brook Lopez. And in a game that got down to 1 point after a DJ putback by the Clippers. In fact, I want to see the score exactly when it was 1 point, because after that, the Clippers really assumed dominance and took control of the ball game. But it was 85-84 with 7:03 left in the third quarter after a make by not Derrick Jones Jr., our old friend DeAndre Jordan, who is starting for them right now. And right after that, you got a Brook Lopez 3. Huge shot. I think biggest shot of the ball game to put the Clippers back up by 4 after they led by as many as 18. It's down to 1. There's still plenty of time left. We know, especially in New Orleans, that's a house of horrors for the Clippers. But even here, on Halloween, Kawhi beat the Pelicans with that game winner. But they had still been really good against the Clippers. We know what a difficult matchup this has been for the Clippers. That Brook Lopez 3, I think, gave them a little bit of a sigh of relief. And then you had Sadiq Bey miss on one end and Brook Lopez a long outlet to DJ for a dunk. Timeout. Now the Clippers are back up by 6. Of course, out of the timeout, McGowan, who looked really good at times, he lost Kawhi and hit a tough jumper. 4-point game. Lopez gets the floater on the other end. Messi turnover. Lopez another 3. Now the Clippers are up by 9. Then DJ in transition. He misses it, but Collins taps it back in. It was on the iron. In the cylinder, doesn't count. But now Kawhi hits a 3-pointer. Clippers up by 12. It's an 8-0 run. Kawhi goes out of the ball game at the 3:40 mark. They're up by 12. It was just a 1-point game a mere 3.5 minutes ago. So some really big 3-pointers in the third by a team that wasn't hitting them. That really was the difference in the game. And since the Clippers have gone 22-10 after starting 6-21, they are undefeated when they outshoot the opponent during that stretch. Tonight, no different. They go 17-36 from 3. The Pelicans 12 of 33. But I was proud of the team that they at least went +1 without Kawhi the last 3 minutes and 40 seconds of the third quarter. Jordan Miller hit a 3-pointer to make it 101-88. Benedict Mathurin drived. Got a reverse layup, 103-88. I'll tell you more after a quick timeout. I'm at a Mosland. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. So I mentioned the 3-point shooting. Kawhi goes out of the ball game. Miller hits a 3. Nico Batum hits a 3. And by the way, not washed. 3 of 5 from the outside with 9 points. I could go through Twitter right now and pull receipts on a lot of different people that have been saying Nico is washed as of late. He just was missing shots that he normally makes. 3 of 5 from the outside tonight for St. Nick. Good to see. Now, I thought Jordan Miller and his ability to get downhill and draw fouls, death taxes Jordan Miller at the free throw line, where he ended up going 8 of 11. That's a big weapon for this team. and he got a few of them at the end of the third quarter too. Jeremiah Fears, though, had an unbelievable play going right around the defense to get a layup at the end of the third quarter. But the Clippers still led by 13. Led by 6 entering the third, was down to 1, got up by 13, and they went +1 the last 3.5 minutes without Kawhi Leonard in that third quarter. So heading into the fourth, Benedict Mathurin misses a three-pointer. Queen gets fouled by Yannik. Derek Queen is tough. He's really skilled offensively, if you didn't know. But Nico Batum, St. Nick, big three-pointer to start the fourth. Jordan Miller getting to the free throw line. Twice down. He only went 1 of 2, but the Clippers are starting to extend their lead. It's 112-96. Mathurin hit a tough shot between 2 defenders off the glass on the right side to make it 114-98. And then there was the DQ offensive foul that was reviewed, even though it looked like the Clippers had already inbounded the basketball. Coach Lue was irate about this. They gave them a review where it looked like, first of all, you have 35 seconds after the play to challenge something. And the Clippers, I think, had inbounded the ball before the Pelicans finally challenged that offensive foul on Derek Queen. So that was a tough call that was eventually reversed, went against them. He hits the free throws, 114-101. Then Queen went left, and Yannik played some really stellar defense against him, but they were feeding him, trying to take advantage of the rookie and Yannik with their own rookie. Kawhi Leonard, though, had a dunk going around Jeremiah Fears with the right hand. Great to see. I mean, he had multiple in this game, especially second quarter Kawhi. He had 11 of his 23 points in the second quarter alone, with some big highlights there. But then they're trying to feature Derek Queen on the left block, isolated against Yannik. And what I loved about this play from Benedict Mathurin is he wasn't having a good night. Shooting-wise, just 4 of 13. There are other ways to get yourself going and to make an impact. And he sniffed out. They kept going and feeding Derek Queen. So what did he do? He came over and helped, blocked. Derek Queen got the basketball, got fouled in transition, went 1 for 2, missed the second one, followed his shot, got the rebound. Clippers wouldn't get anything out of it, but those hustle plays were still key. Mathurin had a putback off a John Collins miss to make it 119-101. And you knew this game was just about over. I think Kawhi went out around the 5-minute mark of the fourth quarter. But Collins had a dish, John Collins to Yannik, for a huge dunk on a really nice feed. But unfortunately, John Collins was grabbing the right shoulder, and it looked like he banged into Derek Queen. And he already had tape on the shoulder. And this is different, obviously, than the laceration he was dealing with and the sore neck after the fall against the Lakers. Just something to watch moving forward. We're going to see if Coach Lue talked about it at all post-game, where we can get some insight on that. But the Clippers and Kobe Sanders came in as the Pelicans were waving the white flag, and Kobe Sanders hit 3 three-pointers, I think, in a row, and just could not miss to pad the Clippers' three-point shooting there. But they go on to win by 20 in a game that was closer than that, but they handled their business eventually here. Clippers 137, Pelicans 117. Quick timeout. We'll come back, get to your phone calls next. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to Clippers Talk here on AM 570 LA Sports. Bro, you mind punching me in so they can hear the phone calls, that one trick thing? Jordan Miller was great. One of his best games as a Clipper. Jordan Miller had, in the second quarter, let's see, Jordan Miller had,
Can we have more kids, please? Can we have more kids, please?
9 points in the second quarter.
Can we get all the kids?
Really helped the Clippers out with his, not just his scoring, but his passing and his defense.
Okay.
That's the type of stuff you want to see. Because your shot's not always going to be there. How else can you help the team in those situations?
Yes.
You got to do more than just, well, either it's your night with getting buckets and the coaches leave you out there, or if it's not, you're unplayable. You can't be that type of player. You have to impact the game when shots aren't falling. I thought Benedict Mathurin was able to do that. He ended up plus 16, even though he was 4 of 13. And I think Jordan Miller was really good. You know, it's funny. Jordan Miller, he was -2, and I thought he was awesome tonight. That's why, because he happened to be out there during stretches where the Pelicans were hitting shots or taking advantage of other guys on defense, that's why you can't trust single game plus minus. Case in point. It's not indicative of how good Jordan Miller played or not. So I take back what I said about Mathurin too in the plus minus.
Guys, we all gonna get home, all right? I'm walking the clock.
Clippers win 137-117 over the Pelicans here at Intuit Dome. I'm Adam Osland. Welcome back in. 866-987-2570, 866-987-2570. Much needed win after losing 3 straight. And anytime you get a victory over the Pelicans, it feels good. Clipper Nation, I know that. They don't always make it easy on them. They did not tonight, too. I thought the Clippers were going to finish them in the first half. I may have put a tweet out there that said the belt is coming off. I thought we were getting some BTA tonight. Eventually, they won by 20, but it was a 1-point game with 7 minutes left in the third quarter. Clippers, though, victorious, and they got some of their key guys rest. Kawhi plays less than 30 minutes. He's at 29. John Collins under 25. Hopefully the shoulder's okay. Brook Lopez at 26. Derek Jones Jr. under 30 minutes. He was at 28. Chris Dunn at 22. Benedict Mathurin, 25 minutes tonight. Nico Batum at just 20. Jordan Miller did play heavy minutes. He's young. It's fine. 32 minutes for him. Yannik, 19. And Yannik, by the way, had 7 points and 6 boards out there. Did have 5 personal fouls. Derek Queen is he can teach you a lesson, even though he's a rookie with his post moves. Very, very impressive young player offensively. 866-987-2570. Let's go to Bargov, calling in from Maryland. Bargov, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Adam? Thanks for taking my call. Hopefully JC's good, man. Obviously, you really, really need him. Not going to lie, I was happy seeing Zion out with the ankle. Just have bad memories of the BBL Bandit punishing the Clips the last couple of years.
You're nasty for that.
Kawhi just a winning player.
You're wrong for that.
Even when he was out of shape, man, he would still give us problems. Kawhi just a winning player, dude. Even when he's not playing great by his standards, he's just so good and just such a winning player. The math finally regressed with the threes. I think Ben, his athleticism and skill on O can sometimes tempt him into being a little tunnel vision predetermined. I think he can be like a half second late with passes sometimes.
Yes.
But I loved his activity. He was hitting the glass, defense. Need his activity out there. He can actually learn from Jay Millie a little bit, just with being composed, but also decisive at the same time with playmaking and getting into the paint, not forcing it when there's too many bodies there. I got one quick big picture take with obviously thrilled about DG coming back tomorrow. My main worry is now we got one weak defender that teams can target. It's been nice the whole season just having literally 0 weak defenders.
So you don't think James Harden can be a weak defender?
Fair point. They're weak in different ways, though.
Yes.
I think DG just being 6'1", 190, he's a guy that teams can just physically kind of get switches on and just try to beat up downhill in the
Here's
paint.
the difference, though, Bargov. Darius Garland gives the right effort. Like, his effort and attentiveness is there. I've watched a lot of Cleveland basketball. I've watched a lot of him. I've talked to my buddy Bob Schmidt from Fear the Fro podcast. They were very concerned about the downgrade going from Darius Garland to James Harden, because they know, at least while he's small in stature, he's not Trae Young out there or something like that. He has good defensive instincts. He's serviceable. And I think really he can be above average at times depending on the matchup. It's really, James Harden, his best matchup was in the post because of his size, where he could play decent defense.
Yeah.
So that's where Darius Garland would struggle more, where Darius Garland, I'd rather have him on the perimeter with guys than James Harden.
Right. You're not going to get beat, force weak side rotations and, help side rotations and having to scramble unnecessarily. And Trae Young's the exact guy I was going to say, even though he's 6'1", 190, he's not toilet tissue like Trae. And, shout out to Iceman Trae, but, DG, he's definitely better. He's definitely better. But yeah,
he's worlds apart from Trae Young.
He is. But just from a big picture, looking at the Clips beyond this year, like to get to the highest levels, competing for the WCF and into the finals, can you get there with one guy who, can be physically targeted against the elite teams? That's maybe a conversation for another day, but thanks for taking my call.
I'll say this, Bargov. I saw the Dallas Mavericks with Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving starting and playing heavy minutes get to the NBA Finals and lose to Boston in 5. So I think it is possible to compensate for having guys that do have some liabilities. And the Denver Nuggets had liabilities in 2023. Jamal Murray can be picked on. Like it can be done. I appreciate the phone call. 866-987-2570, 866-987-2570. Kyle calling in from Florida. Kyle, what's up? You're on Clippers Talk with Adam Oswald.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Adam, for taking my call. First things first, I want to say you have a great show. Second thing was a great win tonight. In your words, we loosened up the belts and we gave it to the Pelicans, which was nice. At the same time, I'm curious to see what your take is on what DG is going to take away from the continuing rotation. Like, who's going to take a back seat to when DG takes a lot of the play minutes, even though I know he's on a rotation. I mean, he's on a minutes restriction. Who do you think out of all the players that we got, like, who's going to take a back seat and who's going to sit on the bench?
Chris Dunn will play less minutes overall. DJ will play less minutes overall, but Kobe Sanders will be out of the rotation some. And maybe it will depend on who's playing better between him and Jordan Miller. Right now, obviously, it's Jordan Miller.
Yeah, Jordan Miller looks good. So thank you again for taking my call, Adam. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Kyle. Thanks for being a listener. Don't make your last call. 866-987-2570. That sounded more dark than I intended. Become a regular here on Clippers Talk. 866-987-2570. Quick timeout. We'll come back. Clippers win 137-117 over the Pelicans here at Into a Dome. I'm Adam Osland, and this is Clippers Talk. Yeah, look, I have concerns about having a small guy out there. Don't get me wrong, but there are ways to mitigate it, especially with the way this Clippers team is constructed, because you already have 2 elite point of attack defenders that can do it every possession in DJ and Dunn. Then you have Kawhi, who can do it here and there. So much is asked of him offensively, you don't want to wear him out defensively. You have Nico Batum, who's not at his peak anymore, but he's still a very solid defender. And I like what we're seeing from Jordan Miller lately. Kobe Sanders has been a really good defender. The backline defense is not as good without Ivica Zubac, obviously. But Brook Lopez has been good enough. He's been more than serviceable. And Yannik seems to be turning a bit of a corner. He did have 5 personals tonight. Biggest issue with him is the foul trouble. And that could be obviously being out of position defensively. But because of the makeup of this team, and John Collins has turned into a solid defender after the first month. The makeup of this team can really compensate. They're already built the right way to compensate for a guy who's going to play a lot of minutes and is going to be picked on at times defensively. Again, Darius Garland is not a slouch. His attention to detail is good on defense. He's only limited by his size. He doesn't fall asleep off ball. Nothing like that. Clippers win 137-117 over the Pelicans here at Into a Dome. Welcome back in. I'm Adam Moslin. This is your Clippers Talk post-game show. 866-987-2570, 866-987-2570. Breath of fresh air type of victory after losing 3 in a row for the first time since they started 6-21. But they lost those 3 games by a total of 11 points. They were all winnable. Nico Batum had a chance to send that game in overtime against the Lakers with a missed 3. Benedict Mathurin had a chance to beat Orlando with a missed 3. And then the other night, they don't have John Collins or Kawhi Leonard the entire game, and they lose to a tough Minnesota team, and they were in it late, and Anthony Edwards turned up, and that was the ball game. It's one thing to just look at overall record or just to go big picture, and you forget each game has its own story. Each game is its own organism. As what's his name? One of the Lakers analysts that I like online. Brandon Timp, is it? Is that what I'm thinking of? Jason Timp. Jason Timp. He put it like that. Really smart, high-level basketball, knowledgeable thinker. At every game, you have to. It has its own story. It's not as simple as, oh, well, they lost 3 games in a row, so that means they're playing terrible basketball. No, they were in those games, and it does matter how you lose because regardless of wins or losses, you're making adjustments. Well, how many adjustments do you have to make if you're in all those games? How bad are you really playing? Are you just a couple plays away from winning those games? And the guys post-game talked about it too, saying we're confident. I listened to DJ post-game after the loss to the Timberwolves. No, we know we're right there. There's a difference. Saying a win's a win or a loss is a loss, that's never resonated with me. I think it's lazy. I think it's sports cliches, and it's not applicable to how I think teams and organizations view wins and losses. Jose, calling in from Downey. Jose, you're on Clippers Talk with Adam Moslin. What's up?
What's up, Adam? Been a minute since I called you, but before I start talking about the game, I gotta ask you, man, did you recognize me down at the court shooting against the mascots?
Oh,
that was me.
I did not, Jose. When was that happening?
Third quarter. I think they said it was like the second time out. It was that to win a signed basketball. I was shooting against all the mascots. It was pretty fun.
And where were you shooting from, and how did you do?
Oh, I did bad. I shot from the 3-point line, and my theory was get up as many shots as possible before
a volume shooter.
Maybe there. Yeah, but I only made one, man. But it was the one that counted. It was the last shot. It was the buzzer beater, and I guess I didn't make anything on the. Yeah,
that was the roar of the crowd that I heard. I think you got a bigger roar than Chuck did when he was 50 feet up from 50 feet out, making that half-court shot during halftime.
That was an awesome shot too, man. That one got me up off my seat to see Chuck do that.
What else do you want to say about the game? And congrats, Jose.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. You know what? The effort, man. Their effort since they've been on this run since whatever that December or whatever that was, that effort I love seeing it, man. It doesn't always result as a win. I mean, honestly, just thinking about besides that Celtics game, besides that Cavaliers game right after the trade deadline, they've been fighting hard for everything, and I'm excited to see DG on the floor tomorrow. I'm hoping that a lot of the players are just saying that he really knows how to move the ball out there. He really knows how to command the floor. So I'm really excited for that, man. 26-year-old, 2-time All-Star. I mean, I'm ready to see him on the court, man. Ready to see him.
I'm with you, Jose. I appreciate the phone call. Congrats on the bucket. I did hear the roar of the crowd at the end of the third quarter. I I was trying to find a read or a commercial as we were coming back from break, so I wasn't focused on it. But yeah, that's big time. Get him up. He'll eventually get one to fall. Jose from Downey, the volume shooter here. And we'll talk more about Darius Garland coming back. More of your phone calls to 866-987-2570, 866-987-2570. After the Clippers win on the front end of a back-to-back here at Intuit Dome, 137-117 over the New Orleans Pelicans. They're up at Chase Center with Darius Garland's debut tomorrow night. I'm Adam Moslin. More Clippers talk next year on AM 570 LA Sports. No post-game quotes or audio coming out that I've seen yet. I didn't realize Kawhi Leonard passed Chris Paul for 6th place on the Clippers all-time scoring list. God damn. Yeah, I'm trying to see Law Murray. I don't see any post-game quotes. Nothing.
All right, guys. We're gonna switch. We're gonna switch to the next group. Let's switch to the next group. Let's go. Thank you. Thank you. Let's exit.
Oh, here we go. Coach Lou said post-game, Chris is good. Chris Dunn. I don't know about John Collins. They just got John Collins back. Man. He's so athletic. Guys like that, sometimes they put themselves in a position, unfortunately, where they get more banged up. You see that with Derek Jones Jr., too. Man, I hope John Collins is okay. They need him desperately.
All right, thanks, guys. Let's exit.
The way he started this game, shot out of a cannon. Those 3 dunks he had with a putback in there, big time. So Chris will be good to go tomorrow.
If you want to get
We'll at least find out something about the starting lineup. But he might just go.
Audio Network.
Clippers win 137-117 over the New Orleans Pelicans here at Intuit Dome. Welcome back in. I'm Adam Moslin. This is your Clippers post-game show. It's Clippers Talk, 866-987-2570, 866-987-2570. Clippers take down the Pelicans. They snap the losing streak at 3 games. They're up at Chase Center taking on the Golden State Warriors tomorrow night. Saw from Coach Lou post-game saying Chris Dunn is okay. Took a hit to the head. He's not sure about John Collins yet, who had his shoulder taped and seemed to bang that right shoulder or maybe right wrist. Not sure what you guys saw on that play. It was tough to tell. I'll preview a little bit of tomorrow night's game in just a moment and talk more Darius Garland, but let's see what Alan calling in from the Swell wants to talk about. Alan, did you hear from Darius Garland post-game? Were you seated there?
I was, and I guess you figured out what I want to talk about. He had the opportunity to vote on 3 different possible cheers from us. One was simply D, G, D, G, D, G. And to that one, he gave a 10 out of 10. The second option was the announcer yelled Darius and we yelled Garland, which I didn't like very much, but he gave that one a 10. And then the third option was D, D, D-A-R, D-A-R, I-U-S, which is the one I preferred, and he was dancing to. And to that one, he gave a 10. So we've decided as the Swell that he gets all 3 of them, and that was what he wanted. So there's the Darius Garland news.
What are you? You're my Darius Garland insider now. You're the Chris Haynes to Kawhi of Darius Garland guys.
I'm trying, yeah. Well, let's see how he plays. We love him right now, and we'll see how he plays. The second thing I was going to say is happy birthday to Chuck the Condor. Happy 10th birthday. And congrats to Jose. And then the third thing is just Kobe Sanders. That guy, I get why he can't give him any minutes right now, but just this whole season, he has just made the most of every minute on the floor. And that, I don't know if you like calling it garbage time, but those are major moves that guy is making and shots he's making, even at the end of the game like that. I just really hope they find a way to keep his confidence up and give him minutes. He has a hunger that's really impressive.
I agree with you. I appreciate the phone call, Alan. Like a young guy being able to start, come off the bench, throw him into any role, any situation, and he just thrives. That's really rare to see, especially from a late second-round pick. Yeah, I hope, if the Clippers blow out some teams, he'll definitely get minutes. That's how he got minutes tonight. But you never know what the needs are moving forward and who the hot hands are. And I think Coach Lou will keep him integrated and still getting run out there. But we'll see what happens tomorrow night. And all these back-to-backs open up opportunities for young guys, too. The Clippers are in a 5-7. They got 18 games and 31 days in March. So that could push guys into more playing minutes just by the fact that, well, they need bodies out there because guys are going to be gassed. But the guy they're getting back tomorrow, the player is Darius Garland. And if you're not familiar with his game, I mean, he's an elite pick and roll point guard. Most assists he's averaged in a season is 8.6. That was the first time he was an all-star. But he's a scoring combo type guard that has the ball in his hands a ton. And he has elite touch. It's not athleticism. It's not a guy who, is John Morant out there or anything close to that. He's not flying above the rim. It's a ton of skill, and it's really great touch. And the way he can finesse the ball in, he's got an amazing floater that he also uses, to fake defenses into thinking just like James Harden, that's a lob or is it a floater? Which one is it going to be from him? So he helps his big men out there too. That was one of the big concerns when he was hurt this season in Cleveland. They were missing him in that connection with Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. So he'll be good with the bigs in the front line here also. But he was averaging just 18 points per game after the All-Star appearance he had last year in 75 games, where he was averaging 21 and 7 assists on 47% shooting from the field and 40% from the outside. He's a career almost 39% three-point shooter. He's a bucket. You can take him off the bounce. That's not a problem for him. So you can orient an offense clearly around him. We mentioned, yes, at times he could be a defensive liability out there, but the Clippers have the guys to insulate him and protect him. So I think it's a really good situation. And again, it's not by lack of effort. It is only because he is on the smaller side. But this isn't a Trae Young situation. But I think he's going to be great for this Clippers team as long as he's healthy and good to go. And I think they've been waiting this long for a reason. They wanted to get him back to 100%. He was already playing with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Is that left toe that he had surgery on last season, the toe turf last offseason, I should say, that ended up keeping him out of that playoff series against the Indiana Pacers where the Cavs would fall in the second round. But Darius Garland is a guy who I really like the touch he has with the basketball. That's the most encouraging thing to me. He just has really fine pinpoint precision touch, and that's really going to help this team with his scoring. And somebody was saying in the chat, well, what's this going to do to Kawhi? He's in such a good groove right now. Well, maybe Kawhi gets a few less shots, but I think maybe give it some time, but he's only going to help because he can create open looks just like Kawhi does for others. He can do that with Kawhi because all the attention that will go his way. Clippers taking on the Golden State Warriors tomorrow. Tip-off at 7 with Darius Garland's debut from Chase Center. We'll have a pregame show back here at 6 outside of Los Angeles. We are leaving you. In LA, we're leaving you too until then. Before we get out of here, I do want to thank the Clippers organization, Ralph Lawler, Brian Seaman, Noah Ego, Carlo Jimenez on the call, our head engineer here at Into a Dome, big brother Jake Warner back in the bank. We had Daniel West. I'm Adam Moslin. Talk to you tomorrow at 6. Oh, thank you, Joey Kimball, lead statistician. Talk to you tomorrow at 6.